going on?
I'm hearing the man himself.
Hey, what's going on? I can't remember what camera to get.
Holy, look at this guy.
Look at this. Wait a minute. He's got more keyboards than I do.
Wow, look at this.
What's going on, everyone?
Well, I guess it's safe to say Tony's going to be able to play something for us.
I can.
I want to see your face.
I could do that too.
Oh,
look at this.
So see, you're set up like I am because you've been teaching.
You got to be ready to do all things, Tom.
Yeah, I got two cameras going myself. So one is here, and it goes down on the. I have a little tiny. It's just a Casio tone, so I can play scales with them.
How about this one? Wait a minute, it's coming. There it is. Pedal cam.
Man.
You got the pedal cam.
Whoa, the pedal cam.
Oh,
I love that you play in your bare feet. I used to work with, not bare feet, your socks. I used to work with a gentleman up here named Lyman Butch Strong. Did you ever hear his name? He was somewhat of a legend from this area. He was a legend from this area.
I'm sure.
And he used to always take his shoes off to play the pedals. But he also used to, when he got mad at me, throw his shoes at me.
Yeah, Butch was a...
Which I know you would not do, Tony.
I try not to.
So how you doing, my friend? How's I mean, as well as you can be doing in this
It's a new world. It's a new world, Eric. But actually, I was already. Well, I guess, if anybody could say they were poised and lucky to be in the position, I was. But I had developed 10 years of building, online students due to the fact that I teach an instrument that's, very rare. So I had, like I showed you, all these cameras. Right. I had all that stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah, well, me too.
Right.
So I just transitioned without any pain at all.
Yeah, actually, I enjoy this as much, if not more, because I get to just turn off the button and go right to bed if I want to go.
Right.
I don't have to carry the organ home.
There you go.
There's a lot of us hate to admit how much we like this. Like, I do miss the people, but I'm digging it, man.
I love it. But when I do my show, as a matter of fact, I could do this while we're speaking. Just bear with. Well, here, let me get everything ready, and then I can do it.
Oh, I like this. All right.
You're gonna like this kind of stuff. This is the future, in my opinion. I'm so glad to see you guys.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. I mean, I have been seeing you, Tony, but on your Facebook page doing
there you go. That's what
I'm with Tony.
Do. I'm going to bring you guys in.
Okay.
To the show.
Ooh.
I just do that by going like, let's see, how do I do it? I go by going like this. Now you're into the show. See, I could take you through all the camera angles of the show via this way. See,
look at that, and you got your Venmo.
Now you're in the show.
Oh,
and Skype settings now. They got some new stuff where they allow you to actually transmit, but this is new, in high fidelity audio. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm turning it on to high fidelity audio. It should sound in stereo like you're in my show.
That's what we were just listening. Wow.
Yeah.
So all your overlays and everything, all of this is all, I would love to have you teach me how to do that.
Okay, well, that's my next thought, is that I should offer a class. Of course, this camera needs to be adjusted. But, it takes me about 15 minutes, but my whole show is programmed, each scene. I talk about COVID. I talk about my shows, my new show. I have a big front camera if I want to show the people a bigger front. What else do I have in here? I have guest feed things. I had to stop guests for a minute. How are you guys? Wait a minute. You're just broadcasting from the Zoom platform?
From Zoom to live on Facebook. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. See, when I broadcast, I want to be able to have guests like you do. But because I'm using this other software, the CPU's like overloaded with, broadcasting stuff going on. Right. That when I bring a Zoom guest on, even though I have like the 200 speed, 20, megabytes per second speed, the CPU can't handle it all, and it goes haywire. So the next step is to be able to try to bring in, the Zoom camera from another computer, and I think the only way to do it is to actually use like a webcam.
So that's what I have, a couple webcams.
And then like do this maybe. Like, for example, if I want to show the screen, just get that camera here and just, okay, I'm talking to, but this be on another computer, like a Macintosh or something, you see. Well, I guess I'm upside down.
I love that you're a geek. I love that about you.
I love this stuff,
Well, I'm a geek too, but you got me beat. You're the king, geek.
You think so?
Yeah, you got me beat, man. I'll admit to it. I concede.
What did I just do? I switched to the wrong camera. There we go. Let me get back to the show.
This is the first person we've had on, Nance, that has been, I think, more of a techie than you.
Yeah, he's got it down.
See, there you go.
I need to say, I could quickly learn this. My poor little Mac Mini is so hot right now. It's funny you said that. It's so unhappy and warm because I have all this going on.
Yeah, well, this is a combination. Well, let me put it this way. This is a culmination of my life as an artist, because the first thing I loved, and Nancy, you're going to remember this when I say it. The first thing I fell in love with was back in 1972. It was called The Smell of Cork Walls. Do you remember the studios in cork walls?
Oh my God.
And 2-inch Mylar tape. Remember that smell? All studios had that like a you were in the forest. Cork trees. Remember?
You remember that, Eric?
I remember that smell.
You've been in more studios than me, Nan, so I don't know.
I don't know. I've been in a lot of studios since I was quite young, but I honestly cannot say I know what Tony's talking about.
They used cork because it was real absorbent.
Yeah, it was acoustic. Yeah.
I mean, I know Nancy knows the smell of cork just from popping so many wine bottles, but I've never heard cork walls.
Wait, I have the little sippy right here.
There we go.
Yeah. So to answer the long story is, Eric, man, it takes, like Nancy has helped me describe, it takes a combination of many things to make a living as a musician today. And I don't know. I mean, that's only up to this point. I mean, now that, we don't have any new stimulus in sight, and the rest of these small mom and pops are going to go out of business. I don't, I mean, I never made a living from that sector of the business anyhow. Mine was getting on a plane or driving a long way for a bigger purse,
Right.
There's nothing on the books. I don't know about you, Nancy, but
I have something, but I doubt very much it's going to happen.
Usually they fall back out.
I mean, this one would require me to fly to New Hampshire. It's probably not going to happen. No, I don't want to fly, to be honest.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't even want to get in a plane. I don't even feel comfortable. I got a couple of gigs in clubs this next week. With the COVID spikes going back up, I don't feel comfortable. But how do you back out and save your reputation? So you put yourself.
I don't know. Somebody put a cute little meme up on, one of my musician friends put a cute meme up on Facebook the other day, and it was a picture of a marquee, and it just said, "If you miss live music, put on your damn mask."
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. True.
Yeah, well, it's changed, and we have had to reinvent ourselves. But Tony and I are lucky enough to I have a solid teaching studio, and I do that from this desk right here about 5-6 days a week. And that's how I'm making my money. I miss being on the bandstand with my guys. I've done a couple live things, but It's weird, man. It's weird. There's nobody there. I don't think have you played any live gigs?
Just a couple little things that, like I said, I don't even really kind of feel good about playing them because I'm more on I have COPD, so I could be one of those that if I get it, it could be trouble.
Yeah, big trouble.
Yeah, so but you also got to survive. So yeah, I mean it's a lot of work. I mean I was doing like 7 broadcasts a week plus serving maybe about 20 students a week plus maybe 5 groups. So I was keeping a schedule of about 35 hours a week digitally online. But somebody's got my school. Hey.
There. Well, yeah, I got a
Eric
piece of,
Cohen. He's our guy for all this stuff.
I got a few surprises that I'm going to share, and so this school. Tell us a little about this Tony Monaco School of Hammond B3.
Okay, well, wow, Eric, this is great.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, man? I think today it's got, like we talked about, it's got to be a combination, culmination, right? Whatever. So I decided, I teach these group classes. Okay. And I've got like hours and hours and hours and hours of group classes that I have video on. And so what I decided to do was take all my classical educational video things that I produced over the years, add all the classes to it, and start a monthly subscription because there is a percentage of the population that likes impersonal learning. So they don't want to be with you. They don't want to be accountable. They just want to click and go.
You're so right. The whole YouTube thing, of course, I discourage them from looking at YouTube. I remind them you really don't usually get good education for free. So you got to remember that, if it's out there for free,
that's right.
You're probably, somebody may not be giving you the right information.
Yeah, or they're not going to give you the complete, like you said. So what I do, Eric, is those ones, I just do like a monthly Q&A.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll announce it. I'll give them a private link, like you did, like a Zoom link, right?
Right.
And then once a month. And so right now, between that and then I have a little Patreon account that I just started.
Good.
And so, I've got myself up to like $400 or $500 a month just with those two little things.
Tell us what that is.
Patreon, well, man, they do take a nice chunk out of it. But, man, here's the way I look at it. Nothing from nothing means nothing. So if you get people donating to whatever, that's more than nothing, right? So the school, it keeps growing because I keep adding and the word goes out, so it's good. If it's got something good, it will grow. So my school continues to grow in subscribers. We're not talking about hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We're talking just a few hundreds, okay? But I'm hoping that grows, of course. And then what Patreon is it allows your supporters to commit to a monthly they put their credit card on file, right? And so like you can pledge $25 a month or $5 a month, and it always comes out. And then what I do with those fans is I invite them to like special events that like if I put on a private show and invite just those subscribers and Patreon members. So they get perks to be my supporter. It's like I got this little miniature airline business,
Man, you're like you are.
Perks, man. Perks make people come to you.
You have to be innovative and creative in this, in this world, especially both of you as musicians and myself as trying to have a booking agent. It's not easy.
No, but I do have one last thing to add.
Sure.
You do need good art. See, look at this art, man.
Yeah.
Everything I have.
I like that. I like that one.
Looks good, This takes you to a website if I had a website, but this is my Tony Monaco Students and Friends private group of organ students. So all of this art comes from this Italian friend of mine who's a fan. So I give him free lessons, and he gives me free art.
Oh, there you go.
And see, with this free software that you can use, you can actually, Nancy, this is good information. I like to share stuff with all my friends. Here's my thought. Okay, so it's a big, important business meeting, right? It's General Motors. I don't know. Let's just say it's a GM meeting. It's a big meeting because some people are going to lose their jobs, right? So it's a tense meeting.
Right.
Why can't, while you're waiting for the meeting to start, like, you know how you open them up into the waiting room?
That's what I tried to do today, but I wasn't very successful.
What if the waiting room was me playing stuff, right? Like, so in other words, when the company members come to the waiting room, I'm doing my shtick right inside in the Zoom. Hey, everybody, welcome. I'm Tony Monaco, and I'll be entertaining you today. I guess you guys got a big meeting coming up, huh? You worried about your job?
You're saying you pitch this to people?
I'm thinking about pitching this as the new wedding gig.
That's a damn good idea.
You know how everything's going to Zoom meetings now. This is Zoom pre-meeting entertainment.
Wow.
I could go right into the meeting.
You got the keyboard. See, I don't play, so I can't do that. What would I do?
The owner could pin me. So if you pinned me right now, I'd be full screen, bigger screen. So when you come into the meeting, everybody can see each other. Like if you go to gallery view or whatever, speaker view. I don't know which one it is. Yeah, speaker view, and I pin myself, and then see. And then, so I'm the guest entertainment, and then when the meeting comes on, they kick me out. Boom, thank you, Tony Monaco.
Well, so has anybody bitten at this yet?
I haven't really pitched it enough. I'm just these are things I'm thinking about in terms of what is the future of what we do. So I think if you could put together something that's sellable, that you're good at doing, even if you're a solo act using tracks. If you have to,
you have way more energy than I do. That's all I know.
Yeah, I know, man. But
way more energy than I do. Well, here's what I do. I do the graphics. So let me show you this. I don't know if you saw this, but if I share it quick, you could see again. You did. Did you see the graphics for the show? Did you see that?
I came in late, so I did not.
So this is let me see. So this I do this.
See, okay. You could do your own art, no problem.
I do graphics, yeah. And I found a program. I just upgraded to Catalina, and of course, as you know, everything was very fussy about running with Catalina. I had to ditch AI. I had to ditch a lot of things, and I found an open source graphics program called what is this? An Inkscape, and all my AI stuff plugged right into it. Man, I was like so happy. This was like, and it's free. So like, that I go that far, Well,
there you go. So you combined your art. See, I'm not good at the graphics part. I'm good at putting the broadcast and the mix together. So see, that's where I think people in this industry are going to be able to help each other. Like co-oping. You'll have to start finding a few people that got the same interest because, it does take a little bit of ingenuity to get it going. But, I can go right into my broadcast, and I'm using a program, Nancy, called Restream.
Oh,
it cost me $19. It cost me $19 a month.
Yeah, I know about this program. In fact, I had considered looking into it for me and Eric. For this,
it's great. I'll tell you why.
This puts you over on YouTube and all places at once. So
I had the $50 version there for a couple of months. It is worth it if you're really kind of doing well on the tip side because it kind of removes the Restream emblem when you broadcast. But who cares at this point in time? For $19 a month, I'm able to put it up on Twitter or what do they call that? Periscope.
Right.
I put it up on my real Facebook wall, my business one, and my personal one. I put it up on YouTube, and I could put the title, and I could put all of the stuff, like that, what I want them to do, like to tip me in all the places, all the links and stuff. I set up the title, and once I push the stream button, it just starts in all those places.
Okay, so the bottom line, are you making money?
Yes. But I'm putting my fishing pole in the water, 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
And some days I don't. But I'm looking at the law of large numbers, okay? This is a business thing. It's called the 80-20 rule, okay? Okay, let's say you need to catch 20 fish, right? And each time you go fishing, you average 2. If you wanted to catch 20 fish, how many times do you need to go fishing? 10, right? Mm-hmm. So each time you go, you stand the average of making 2 fish. So I need to make, money as to replace at least my local gigs. So when you say, am I making money? The answer in the short is yes, but we're not talking about money like I make when I go to Japan.
Well, but I mean, is it starting to gel? Is it?
Well, here's what happened at the very beginning of the novel. Everything has a,
Yes.
So at the beginning, it's all exciting. Everybody's into the game, man. They're tipping, they're doing everything, they're sending. But our economy was still getting $800 a week.
Hello, boy, do I miss that?
Okay, then all of a sudden, that stopped. Right, and then the reality struck, and even the ones that were typically higher rollers, my $50 a week one, my $100 a week one, started to be every couple of weeks maybe, or a little bit less, or almost none. So the tips went down from at the beginning. Sometimes I would be very surprised at how well I did in a week, to now maybe averaging out over 5 hours, somewhere between $200 to $500 a week.
Yeah, but that's much needed and much appreciated.
Hey, man, like I said, my purpose for doing it is to practice, to put my live chops to work once, every day. So I get my entertainment chops out. I get to practice.
Yeah,
I sweat.
That's what I'm missing.
I sweat. I'm playing by myself with the drum machine, but, I'm playing a lot of it, so it feels real. Plus, I don't know if you guys notice what I did when I do my show. Let me see if I can do this, just kind of.
Yeah, show us.
Am I allowed to share my screen? Yeah, I guess I am.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I do when I'm doing can you see this screen now?
Yeah.
We can.
This is my software. I'm going to move it out of the way. You see right there? That's a messenger, right? Okay. So what I do is I start taking, like, for example, let me just start popping them up here, and then you'll see what I do. When I go to broadcast, this is just a TV with an HDMI input. It's a big screen TV, see?
Right.
But I'm going to go ahead and line up all of the feeds. I do a sixth feed that is a special one. It's this one. It's called Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
What I do with Instagram is I actually feed a separate camera. It's called the behind the scenes with the same audio. So while I'm doing the broadcast, as you can see the screen, I'm looking at YouTube, Periscope, my professional Facebook messages there. I'm watching my show messages. Let me see if I can pull one up so you can see what it looks like while I'm on it.
Tony, man, you're like...
Okay, so this is the show going, okay? So I'm looking at all these messages. See those right there?
Yeah.
Let me minimize. Of course, this stuff's going to get in the way. Okay, let me pull it up here. See, I'm seeing all of the messages in real time as they're coming at me here, here, and here on Instagram, because Instagram is going to have my show going on from what I call the behind the scenes, okay? Let me see if I have one of the shows here. Yeah, I do. They're all right here. Okay, here's a behind the scenes. See? This is going to be going on right now. Let me unmute it. So
you look like an air traffic controller in a way,
You see, so these messages are coming from the broadcast. See, this is muted right now. I got here tonight.
So
there's the show.
Hey,
from the back, I put a separate camera so that the audience can see me from the background, but see the same, hear the same audio, right? So I don't get in trouble with Instagram. So I'm broadcasting this one right from. Oh, look, there's a cat. People love that. People love that.
Hey, kitty.
I start the broadcast. Let me get back into Zoom and get myself out. Sorry, now I got to find myself. Whoa.
This is a bit much, to be honest with you. It's overwhelming. I'm
blown away. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that pretty cool? But I'm doing that all in live.
What you got to do, man, is do a series to teach people how to do this.
I was thinking of that. That might be a living for me. What do you think that'd be worth? Like $25?
A lot. That would be well. But the problem that you're faced with, and I know that I am a rarity. A lot of artists are not techie. That's right and left brain. That's right and left brain. And I happen to have that. You clearly have that.
Right.
But it's very rare. So to have somebody to even understand, I get what you're talking about. I haven't implemented it. I could if I took your course. Some people could not. There's people out there. There's people right now in this chat room who still have a flip phone and do not want to move from that.
No, you have to move forward, and you have
to.
That's you,
Jeff Martin. No, I'm just kidding.
You have to have a laptop too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because the audio you can't get it right with the cell phone. Now you can if you do what I do. You see right back here. So what I do during the show is I take my iPhone and a connector here.
You're a freak, man.
I put it inside that. That's got the same mastered audio as this is. You're listening to me. Let me put it at mastered level. Here it is. Here's mastered level right now. So this is what I put the show at. That's just that's negative -1, -0.1. So I could peak it right to the very top, But that does the same right there. So I'm able to send in the cell phone to Instagram the very same audio because I just use 2 audio cards simultaneously. And then this way I don't get sued by
my comprehension right.
Well, here's the deal. You know how I showed you I've got about 5 or 6 messages going on?
Yeah.
What people do is they'll go to the behind the scenes on Instagram. Hey, I'm here. And Steve Smith might be there, somebody's over there, and then they start chatting, and I get to watch it on my board. And then all of a sudden I see him on my private Facebook. Hey, I'm here. And then they start chatting in there. Then I see him on my YouTube. So what they do is just like you would do, like if you go to a lounge, you kind of move around to talk to different people. They go from social media to social media.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It starts to build more fans,
That's
fans.
Interesting.
It's genius. It really is.
And then I don't know if you saw. This is just the last thing I forgot to show you. Since I did this was very, very important. I know you can't see it because I don't have it locked in, but I'm gonna just bear with me one more second. This is important. Hey,
Is that you live? I'm so confused. Is that the real?
No, you're watching me live. Yeah. Okay, let me pull this right here. Okay, this is important. I didn't. There it is. See it right there?
Yeah.
Okay, that is my emails that are coming in with who's sending me a tip.
Oh, there's a Patreon right there.
Somebody just signed on to be a $5 a month patron. I didn't get a chance to thank them. But as they give me tips, I'm able to tell them live in the show, hey, John, thank you very much. Hey, Sally, thank you very much. And then sometimes people see the $100, $25, $50, and it starts like a fever, and they start tipping. It's kind of like Las Vegas.
Oh, my God, I'm exhausted.
By the way,
is it time to go to bed?
somebody you know very well, Tony. Both Joe Cortini and Beth Ann Dice chimed in, and Joe's comment was, "Some people still using AOL for mail."
That's true.
And then Beth Ann said, how about a new show, Tech with Tony?
Is my camera locked? Something wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it kind of froze for a sec.
You better figure this shit
well,
out.
you know what? We're going to do the fail-safe. Here's what we do. We're just going to go right.
What happens when you play with so many toys? And there we go. There we go.
I hope at some point, Tony, you don't mind if we talk to you about Tony Monaco.
Yeah, go ahead, please. This is Tony Monaco now, kinda.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, this is the little Zoom show that we do, but we don't collect any money. I suppose we could. Eric and I have talked about it. Like, what would you do? You don't get sponsors anymore. You would get.
I haven't had success with sponsorship. The only thing I do, like I said, I put my fishing pole in the water. And I pray for the generosity of somebody. Unfortunately, it's not a business plan. It's just luck.
Yeah, I know. But, Eric, that's, I don't know whether, because we honestly, I think it's because of the time that we're on. We're on Sunday nights at 7:00. It's a very busy time on social media. There's a lot of shows on at this time. So where we get the views is the rewatch.
Right. Yeah, we've gotten some great, we've had multiple shows where we've had over 1,000 people who viewed it.
Yeah. So my question is there a way to embed this? I would love to talk to you about it, because if we could embed something in the rewatch thing, so
let me say that 90
tip if they like the show. I don't know. We're making nothing. We're just doing this because we're show business people and we just want to do our thing.
No, I get it. We
just want to do our thing.
Yeah, of course. See, my intention's a little bit different because I have a threefold plan and presentation. I always tell my audience the reason why I'm doing this, which is the real truth, is I want to maintain my chops. The second was when I started the Home Alone program. That was the first one. Right. I did it for my mother. She was home alone. So that was the second reason why I did. And then all of a sudden I started realizing that people were tipping me. So the third reason became that in that giving and practicing, I was making some money. So it's a threefold thing. And over time I don't get tipped a lot. I get tipped regularly by certain people.
Yeah,
so you have to kind of develop that crowd. You have to develop it. And secondly, 95% of my tips happen during that 1 hour, not the 23 hours of replays on all the networks.
That's what
I'll wake up in the morning and see $5 or €5 now and then. Somebody watched the show. But I get the tips for some reason. There's an energy that happens when you're really live.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Like we are now. Now. We're really live. When you watch it later, it's already been done,
And you don't, some people do like maybe once or twice a week. I swear, I go on Facebook every day from whether it be in June, July, August, and you're on every single day, whether it's Hang with Tony or Happy Tony Hour. You talk about keeping your chops sharp. You've been at this really since the pandemic really broke in March, and you're still doing this every single day. So practice. You talk about practicing. You're practicing and also making some bread as well.
Well, here's what I do to my audience. Just the last thing. I don't want to take too much.
Yeah, we've got to talk about it.
We're going to take a little trip.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, this is
okay. We're taking a little trip. All right. So here's the trip. There's my YouTube channel. And this is where all the videos are stored. So every one of my broadcasts is up for monetization.
I have it bookmarked, yes.
Okay? So there you go. You could just watch hours and hours. What better advertisement?
We have one of those for this show.
You have a logo you put in, right?
Yeah, that's that logo.
Yeah.
Well, ours is.
There you go.
Are you sharing this, Tony?
Yes.
Did you see it?
This is Tony sharing. Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got it. My first show started on, I think it was this date right here. I can't get to it for some reason.
I think I saw you go back to March.
Way back to the very beginning I started.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go back to 3. I don't know why this is not letting me go back, but Well, anyhow, that's it. That's the end of my spiel.
Yeah,
So.
we have one of those, but I don't get a lot of views on there. I don't know. This is just a little side hustle, fun thing that Eric and I do. I mean, I have my own career clearly going that I constantly am promoting. But I think that's the big challenge that I'm having is keeping my chops together. That's a challenge. Because while I say this, I've said it before, while I am a pianist, I don't accompany myself.
Yeah,
so it's a pain. So I got my tracks and stuff. So what I do, I got my mic set up. I got a whole setup. I'm going all into Pro Tools. I got everything all going here. So what I do is put my tracks in Pro Tools and I sing and I record while I'm singing. So it gives me this like I'm listening to it. I'm going, yeah, man, I'll change it. Like you get into that head of creativity, it's like, so you're doing the creative thing, but plus you're keeping your chops together. And if I can do that for an hour a day, I'm keeping them together. Right now, I'm not. I haven't been singing.
Yeah. Well, it's easier for me because I play bass, I play the drums, Yeah. But it's harder for you because you got to back yourself up and sing and everything. I get it. That's what I'm trying to say. You asked me at the very beginning. I'm not bragging about it. I'm blessed to have been in the perfect position to do this. Yeah. Because I don't know what else I would have done. That's so that's the last part of what I got to say. This is the heart. I wonder what some other people are doing. What is happening?
I also don't want to get. I have a weird part of me, and there's a weird part of me that doesn't want to overexpose. I was just going to do another live show. I am blessed to be a part of a wonderful recording studio up here, and they've been doing live shows, so it's all mixed. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And I was just going to do another one, but I decided not to because I don't know. I feel like I'm losing some sort of passion or something during this. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening.
I stopped for 10. If you've noticed, I stopped my show about 10 days now. I dried up too, but I went like over 160 hours of shows in the last 6 months.
Oh, you got so many hours in the can. You deserve to take a week off.
I burned out, but I'm coming back. I hope
so.
I don't know. I feel like I get overexposed, and I just feel
you can't feel that way because
But then I need to talk to you. I'm going to call you up, and you're going to hear me up.
Okay, I'll help you. You can't feel that way. You're gonna have to keep putting the fishing pole in the water.
There you go.
I know it. I know. I needed this. This is good. Hey, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Tony.
I wanna.
Who? If they don't want to watch it, they don't have to.
It's a good point. Yeah.
It's free. You're not being. That's what I always tell them. I am my sponsor, and so are you. If you don't like what I'm doing, you can always go away,
So, I mean, Tony, as I share this picture, I have to ask you. I mean, this was your 2019 recording on your own label, which is a subsidiary of Summit, Chicken Coop Records. What I want to know is how the heck did you know when you recorded this that we were heading into the most insane year of our lifetime? I mean, this is the
definition of insanity.
I mean, this album, which we should let people know, this is not a recording from 2020. This was 2019 before everything turned upside down. So I got to say that this title is the perfect way to describe the first 10 months of 2020. So it's never mind the fact it's a brilliant recording, but the title, I don't know how you came up with it, but it was very prophetic.
It was funny. I came up with it because I was trying to sing a little bit because, the definition of insanity is when you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a new result.
Right.
So I figured if I do a little bit of Fish, a little bit of Grateful Dead, sing a few songs, that I would maybe get some real attention. So all the reviews at the beginning, they all got it. Tony, great. And I'm thinking, oh man, I did something finally. Because I never got a number one. I've always been number 3.
You got a major label. That has a lot to do with being on a major label. That
think so.
It doesn't all. Trust me, I just went through a thing where my record was nominated one of the best records of 2019.
Wow.
But did I get up the charts? No, I don't have a major label.
It's
man.
funny how that is.
It's all politics, man.
That's funny.
And you painfully learn that in this business. You painfully learn. It's
true?
nothing to do with your artistry, or your talent.
It's all political. And
it's all a game, man. It's all a huge game.
And it's a game for the upcomers, right? The new ones. See, we got
a lot of. I will say, there's some amazing young people out there right now. And they have benefited from what you and I and people like us have laid down. We laid it down for them. We kept the art form alive. They combined that with the schooling, which is something I didn't have. I mean, I didn't have this new thing where you go to learn jazz out of a book. You know what I mean? In college, you and I did it on the bandstand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I learned it from black folks on the bandstand.
I miss you, Nancy. It was so good the last time we saw each other. Joe Cortini was there and Jeff Martin. Great people, man. I love my friends over there. I miss you guys so much. So
where are you?
You're in Columbus, Ohio, right?
He's on a spaceship.
I'm gonna come someday. I mean,
once you're gonna come back.
I think my prediction is some of the regional stuff may come back sometime by maybe next summer once things get a little.
So what I was going to suggest,
safer.
Joe, let's do a virtual Fulton
Maybe
Jazz
next summer.
Let's do it. But he hears me talking about it. He already thought of it, I'm sure. You and I should do a collab.
I'm willing to do anything. I'm enjoying the broadcast thing. It's too bad we haven't hit 5G yet, because you imagine if we could do that, then you could have your piano player playing with you in real time.
Do you think so? Really?
Oh, yeah. It's coming. And you know what? I think this...
Nancy can't wait for that.
Yeah, my brain is already
going to expedite. This pandemic and this need for digital data to be blasted through the waves is going to create a faster infrastructure to provide.
It's so funny you said that, man, because I was just telling one of my students that. I said, we were not ready, like this whole Zoom broadcast thing, it was on the back burner as far as tech was. It really wasn't out in front. And now it's out in front, so it's going to get developed.
This is the good part.
Because it's going to make money, so it's going to get developed.
Internet has good parts. Internet has good parts, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
And do you guys remember at the very beginning of this, because everybody shifted from the downtown offices and all the data coming out of those places to the data now being shifted into the suburbs, everybody's houses. Do you remember at the beginning there was all those problems with data backups and data like now? Look at it. They've figured a new pipelines for the data. So just imagine how far they've come in 5-6 months, and
but I think we're going to see there's going to be a downturn because there's a lot of people that really dig working from home, and you're going to see office buildings just sitting empty. I mean, we're going to see this. I don't think people understand the magnitude of what is going to come out of this pandemic.
It's happening, yeah.
It's really going to change our world and our landscape, and it's real,
By the way, Tony, Jeff Martin's in the chat, and he actually commented earlier when you were talking about having the entertainment like home based, and pinning yourself, and he said, "Do it. That's a great idea. They have the same tune when I'm waiting for a conference call." And I know you've played with Jeff. Great guitar player.
I love Jeff. He's my friend.
And so Jeff says hello, and Joe and Beth Cortini. In fact, Joe was nice enough to share. Look at these two wild men right here. Look at this.
God, it seems like yesterday.
Now, was that taken? Was that at Fulton?
That was Fulton Jazz right on the stage. Me and Joe.
Oh, that's what it is, of course.
Yep.
Of course, Nancy knows that stage very well.
Oh, you know that stage. Well, we didn't get to see it this year.
And I'd be remiss if I forgot to do this. Tony, you're Tony. Joe, actually, not only did Joe send me this picture, but he did send me another picture, and as I share this other picture with you, I'm going to read a text that that Joe sent me. I think you'll know who's in this picture as well.
Oh, JoJo.
Oh, by the way, JoJo is in the chat.
Oh, is JoJo in the chat?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
He's my buddy. He's a great young man.
Oh,
yes.
He's wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, he's very attentive and he's paying attention to everything.
It's a great picture. So I'll leave that picture up for a sec. But here was the text.
He looks like he has the potential to be kind of like a little movie star or something.
He's got that hair going, and
He looks good there, man. I think he looks like a movie star over there.
I think so.
Harry Connick Jr. the second.
Yeah, he does have that look, doesn't he?
So,
yeah, a little bit.
So, Tony, you cannot have two bigger fans in the world than Joe and Beth Ann, because here's the text I got from Joe tonight. It's a 3-part text. Looking forward to the show. Tonight's dinner, and of course, Joe and Beth Ann, I mean, they know how to cook up.
I don't know anything about that.
So
I've been to their house.
So this was dinner, knowing you were going to be on the show tonight.
They have.
Charcuterie. Did I say that right, Nance?
Charcuterie, yeah.
Charcuterie to start things off, followed by, inspired by one of Tony's tunes, pasta fagioli.
Oh, nice.
Okay, well, it gets better, though.
I'm going to write a tune called Pasta Fagioli.
And then they have home-baked bread with another Tony tune, olio e olio.
Olio. Olive oil and garlic.
Olive oil and garlic. And then to top it all off, just so you know, this is not a food item, but right now, Beth Ann is wearing her furry slippers. So if they're not, and that was the title of Tony's Tony recording, Nancy. So
my records and stuff. Oh,
so,
I love you guys. Thank you.
There was some story. Wait, Beth Ann was telling a story because we had them on. We had them on the show.
Oh yeah.
And she was telling a story about you in a bathrobe or something. There was a.
Was she?
What was that? Oh, Beth Ann, what was that story?
Oh boy. We got to get this from Beth Ann.
Tony was in the living room playing the organ, and Beth didn't know he was there, and she came out.
Came out in a bathrobe.
Yes. One of those oh boy moments.
But I know you've done, of course, a couple of events, the Jazz in the City events, for CNY Jazz, and you've done obviously Fulton with Joe, and I know that earlier. Was it I guess it was it sometime last year when you were supposed to make it up to do a gig, I think, out at the Green Gate in Camillus, and that's when you hurt your arm, right?
I fell off my bike exercising.
Yeah.
I've been unemployed since October.
A year now.
Jeez. Almost a year. I only had 3 gigs, so I finally got I recovered to play. I played the end of January. I played the Newport Beach Jazz Festival. Then I went to play Java Jazz in Jakarta at the early March, and then I played with Fareed Haq. We played 2 nights in Denver.
Wow!
And that's
Where'd
all
you go?
I
Did
played.
you play Dazzle?
Dazzle.
I love Dazzle. That was my last gig before COVID.
That's all I got.
I was flying home from there when everything it was freaky, man.
It was, wasn't it, when everything...
I've been to Jakarta. I haven't played that festival, though, but Jakarta is a very interesting place.
Yeah, it sure is.
Thinking.
And how many times, Tony, would you say, of course, I know you met your... I was going to ask you how many times you've been to Japan in your life, and I know your wife... You met your wife in Japan, correct?
I met my wife when I was playing in Tokyo.
Wow.
Oh, how I love Tokyo.
Oh,
how I love Tokyo.
No,
I tell people,
living
living through this that we're living through right now in this country, when you're over there, you sometimes like, do I have to go back to that barnyard?
so clean.
Yeah,
So
I'm the only one of the 3 of us that has never been to.
Oh, you have to go to Asia. You've got to go to Japan.
If you go anywhere, there's 2 places I recommend highly would be Japan and Singapore, because those are
both I've been to.
Right.
Singapore 2 or 3 times.
They're both just like stellar.
Forget it.
Great food,
Keep off
great
the
water.
ground.
Yeah.
And there's a good jazz club. There's a good jazz club to go to in Singapore.
Oh yeah, few of them.
All over the place.
Yeah.
It's a mecca of money right in that little spot.
Yeah,
So it's got
yeah.
well,
But I mean-
you know, I don't know what it's going to look like after this. You know,
Right.
I don't know. You know, listen, man, I don't know what entertainment's going to look like because here's the deal.
I don't know.
Here's my thinking. Okay,
Yeah.
the small clubs are going to be in so much pain. They already are. If they survive, they're going to have to be able to not. I mean, you're talking about 25-30% capacity trying to pay a band when they're already like behind on rent. What does that look like?
I don't know. I've been watching on Facebook. Everybody's out on the street. Everybody that I know is out on the street playing. They're just playing in front of, bars, and who knows how much. Somebody that I know that's really very well known, that we had on this show just recently, was in front of a bar. And I said, man, this person cannot be
crazy.
making a lot of money.
No, they're not making.
Because this person makes, as you and I call it, the big money when you're out, So
It's changed.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's Birdland. I mean, Johnny is a successful man, but how long can he, the little clubs, look at Smalls as he's trying to.
I heard Smalls closed. I heard the owner died.
No.
Yeah, somebody just told me, Kiko Tsaruga told me the owner of Small, don't get me wrong, I could find out, make sure, but yeah.
You're talking about,
That's Joe Magnarelli's
why can't I think of his
Wife.
name? With an
wife,
F?
Akiko.
Yeah, she's my good friend.
Unbelievable, isn't she?
Oh no, that's sad. That is sad news if it's true.
Spike Wilner. Is that who you're talking about?
I'll let you know here in a moment.
Wow, that would. Yeah, I think it is Spike, and.
This is. I hope this.
The owner of Showman's in Harlem passed.
Showman's. That's different. That's up in Harlem. But there's not that it's any worse or better. That's a different club. But Showman's was the real. That's a jazz club in Harlem, man. That's the deal.
No.
That's the dealio.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And any clubs open in
I'm going to play tomorrow night live with my trio. It'll be 7 p.m. on all my networks.
Okay.
It'll be my first gig back since I took a little break. I'm just going to do that. I bring my laptop, 2 cameras, and I tell and this audio card. I bring a separate. I got a Tony Monaco road show on a separate laptop.
Right.
So I just bring that, and then I tell the sound man to give me the sound.
Where do you get the energy to orchestrate all of this, Tony?
Okay, here's what happened on our first gig. The club paid us $100 a piece, cash.
That's normal.
And I was able to bring in an extra $80 a piece tips from the show. So in other words, I almost brought double the money with my audience that was worldwide visiting the show that was sold out in Columbus. So it was a win-win situation. Now, the last time I went, we only made $30 a piece. So once again, like I told you, the numbers are not, you can't rely on them. But see, if you don't have these resources, then you lose. You just lose.
I know.
You just
I
lose.
don't have the energy you do for this. I don't have.
You have to. You're going, and Nancy, I've got to tell you, we are going to have to. Here's the deal, and that's why I developed the Tony Monaco show, quote unquote, because the Tony Monaco show is a bargaining tool for my gig. You see, when the club owner tells me they don't have much money, then I say, well, then I guess it's no problem if I ask for an Ethernet line and I bring my show.
Mm.
And we want to share.
Not say no. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm getting at. The show becomes a bargaining tool.
Yeah.
And it helps me control my income flow more than waiting on a club that's not making it. My overhead's less, man. It's in a laptop. I know it's... Hey, man, everybody said the internet was going to be a bad thing, right? But it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing, right?
I mean, what you have done. I mean, you have what you have done throughout all of this with the Tony Monaco show. You have really built your brand.
That's right. I branded myself.
Absolutely, in a way that you wouldn't have thought of doing so probably a few years ago. But now it's necessitated this this new approach. And so yeah, you've branded your way, and more artists need to take that take the ball and run with it. But not everybody has the technical abilities you do.
Festivals, and people are going to have to embrace this virtual thing. I don't think there's any other way around it. Somebody just did that up here with a little festival, and he set up his whole place with like a TV studio. I mean, it's, that's where it's going to go. And if you think it's going to end very soon,
no, it's forever. I'm the new bar. I brought my band in here a month ago and sold tickets, and we all made $150 a piece right here. I have a private link for that one too. So in other words, I can make my own lounge now. Why go to a lounge? Just do it right here.
Can I do one with you?
Yeah, yes, I would. I'm going to start
driving out, man.
I'm start guesting now. By the way, this coming week. So let's hook it up right away. I was going to say one more thing. I wanted to say, Eric, you're completely correct about the branding thing. That's the fishing pole in the water. It has to be consistent. When you go to my channel, you know that it's going to be a broadcast that sounds and looks good, and it's going to be always on time. That's how you build this brand today. So
you are an exception to the rule. I'm telling you, there's very few people that are going to fall in line with this.
Well, they will. The ones that are going to succeed will. That's the deal. Listen, man, the internet, we said once again, is good and bad. What did the internet do that we all said as musicians was bad? Well, you can tell me. Well, no, yeah, it did. It did. It did something that made my income drop substantial.
Oh, you mean like Spotify and all that stuff? Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah, I didn't even want to mention the word Spotify, but yeah.
I used to be able to rely on a percentage of my income per year being plastic sold merchandise.
I just got a $9 check from them.
Hey,
how much was that glass of wine you're drinking? More than $10.
Yeah. Those checks need to keep coming in.
I'm just making jokes here, folks. These are the jokes, folks. Tony, if you don't play for me, I'm going to go crazy.
Okay, I
got to hear something.
I know. We got to hear.
I got to hear you play. People need to know.
Yeah, we got about 20 minutes left. We want to play something now, and then maybe you can play a little something out for. Maybe Cortini can request something for later. But
man, I don't know if I. Let's see.
Give us something. Give us something now.
Well, here, I'll tell you what I'm going to give you.
No, really, play it. Don't play a show.
Oh, I'm going to play a song.
Oh,
if you want to sing, Tony, go ahead.
Watch this. Let me get some. I'm just trying to find the right beat. I'm out of step.
I knew he was going after you.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
So we should get a little bit of Cowganite, right? Let's get the big view, the super view.
Let's do it.
There we go. And a little bit of Calgon. There we go. Hey! Dimmi quando tu verrai. Dimmi quando lo hanno loro in fondo a noi. Non ce lasceremo mai. Lo hanno loro in fondo a noi. Dimmi quando lo hanno loro in fondo al cuore. Non ce lasceremo mai. Se può dirmi di sì, lo può dire perché non m'ha senza per te, la mia vita senza te. Dimmi quando tu verrai. Dimmi quando lo hanno loro in fondo al cuore. Non ce lasceremo mai. perché. La mia vita senza te. Dimmi quando tu verrai. Dimmi quando. Lo hanno loro in fondo al cuore. Non ce lasceremo mai. There you go.
Hey!
I had to stop the drum machine. See,
Man,
Wow, that's amazing. So you were playing pedal tones with your leg and your left hand bass, and is that a what is that? I used to see that synthesizer everywhere. It's not a Moog.
Well, it's a Poly Prophet, but I was using it to trigger a piano. But I can. It's an analog synth. It's got some power, you know.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go from like, you know, like you know, yeah.
Oh, look at Nance.
There you go.
Yeah.
But that's what that sounded like to me.
You know, people like the reggae thing, you know, so I might have to do, you know, like
Yeah, man.
That's the rhythm. My God.
yeah.
Oh. Man alive. That's
To me, this is the thing I spend a lot of time thinking about, is incorporating the music we grew up with, aside from the standards and all that, but incorporating all that, but bringing it forward with like what you're doing with a little bit of a funk feel, a little bit of a swing feel, whatever the heck it is, you know, like. And if you think people don't like that, you're crazy, because they love it.
They do.
They love it
every day at the same time. They're I'm here, you know, and you know, I think that this is the new like, you know, remember the piano bar? Piano bars? Do you remember piano bars? This is the new piano bar. And you know, people are creatures of habit. And you know, after a year of doing this, what makes you think when it changes that everybody's just going to go back to the way it was?
I don't.
This is the way it will be. This is the normal.
As long as we may live, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be combined with nightlife, of course, you know, because people, you know, even though you can just about get all of your needs met through electronic means in order what you can order food, but you know, there's still that, you know, you still got to be a human.
Yeah.
But this I mean, this makes it tolerable, at least. I don't know about you guys. Are you kind of going a little bit crazy though? You know, a little bit.
No, we've passed the point of going crazy.
I'm not. I'm beyond that. I'm worried about being depressed, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, it is depressing.
And you know what? With the amount of people that are have been,
I didn't mean to interrupt. The minute I hear music, it goes away though. Please continue.
See, well, you know what? This is why, Tony, Nancy is the yin to my yang. Yeah, because that was the point that I was just about to make. That as you could, I mean, we've had some downright depressing and crappy days over the last 6 months. But there's something about music, especially in turbulent times, tumultuous times right now, with everything going on, to be able to just hop on and listen to you on Facebook, or just be able to pop on a recording that you haven't heard in a while. If we've never needed music as an escape more than we do right now. And
Boy,
again, Nancy said the best. It just kind of transports our mind to a place just a happier place, you know?
Sure does.
You had a great quote. I read a quote of yours. This was from about 3-4 years ago, but I love this quote from an interview you did. You said, at this point, I don't have any regrets at all. The best part about music is it will humble you in itself. So the journey is the best part. And you take us on a journey. Every song in its own way takes us on a journey. And man, you've been taking us on a journey for, gosh, it's 20 years, right? Since your first recording, huh?
Man, you know, God bless me so far. So it's going, you know.
And Nance, we should be fortunate. Tony could have decided to pursue a career as an accordionist, if not for this gentleman right here.
Now Jimmy Smith, he didn't play any pedals, did he? He was just all left hand, wasn't he?
Mostly left hand, but there was some, you know, pedal work done as well. It's amazing. I have something for you guys. Speaking of,
I wasn't letting this whole show go by without dropping Jimmy's name, because I know that he's the reason that you pursued the career you did and took up the instrument you did. So.
Do you remember my story that there was a guy that gave me my first Jimmy Smith record? Well, I have it here today.
Oh,
Right?
how wonderful.
Look at it. Oh, let's see it.
And there's two of them because I had to buy a second one so that I could learn it again, because I scratched all of the. But when I was 12 years old, I was in a basement of this little wedding band that my dad belonged with.
Right.
That the accordion player was getting ready to. He just bought a Farfisa organ, and so they got rid of the bass player, so now they could be a trio, make more money.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the rehearsal, he brought out this album and he gave it to me. I had a little record player that I was playing Beatles 45s on. And he gave me this album, and it's a 2-record set.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm not really into this music, he says, but you should give it a listen. So, you know, on the one side here, there's no grooves in the middle because this whole side is one song.
Oh, what is it? The sermon?
The sermon.
It's the sermon.
This right here, this piece.
Bonanza boy knows.
Hey, I knew when I needed a song, a long song.
You
I
had
said,
to
I'm
go
going
to
with
the bathroom, man. That's like the thing.
20 minutes of the sermon from Jimmy.
In
Yeah.
1972, I took out the 45 record adapter. I switched the speed to 33, and this was the vinyl that turned me into what I am today.
Wow,
This
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, and I think I saw When Johnny Comes Marching Home is on there as well.
All of the tunes I love to play.
Oh.
I learned most of my stuff on these 2 album sets.
Amazing. That's amazing.
You know, Nancy, it doesn't take much, you know.
Oh, my first jazz was you know, for a singer. I mean, it was Mark Murphy, but everybody knows my Mark Murphy story. So
Yeah, but see, you learn so much from just so little when you're really listening.
And Tony, before Jimmy, you were a Beatles fan, right?
I love the Beatles, but I played accordion music, you know.
I love the accordion. Do you ever bring it out, man? I love flipping accordion.
My skills aren't real good anymore because my bellow control, you know, man, I've been playing this thing.
That's the thing. I compare singing to a bagpipe. You ought to see me going through this thing.
Yeah, my wind control sucks on the accordion.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
And now, having done my beef, I just love to watch Nancy laugh.
She's a great lady. I love Nancy.
It's one of the joys of this show.
Finally, I'm crying. Oh God.
Oh, by the way, I gotta pass along this. What a nice comment from Joe Cortini, who said, "I'm telling you, when I'm on stage with Tony, I am blown away by his talent and the fact that he'd share the stage with a cobbler like me."
Oh my
He's
God,
just
say that.
he's being self-deprecating there, but Cortini, I know that coming up here, you've been very, very appreciative of the caliber of musicians we have in this area, guys like Jeff Martin and Joe Cortini, and I mean some major players here in Central New York.
Joe knows how I feel.
And I know they've been blessed to have you come up here.
These guys are great musicians, and they're music is about playing. It's not about ego, These guys can play music, so why not,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, when the ego gets involved, the music leaves the room.
Sometimes music finds the way, but you can always tell when some soloist is just trying to jam their stuff in you. It's not like, solo is a trip and a humble journey, so.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole conversation. It's one of the reasons I'm having a hard time playing is for me personally, there's really not a lot of keyboard players up here. There's just not a lot of people. A lot of the people have left. I mean, they went to New York, or they went somewhere. There's just not a lot of people up here.
What about Bill? Not Bill, William.
Oh, Will Gorman.
Well, William is
he back?
He's back home because he left. I'm sure he left New York when COVID hit.
He'd be a great person to lay down some tracks with.
Yeah.
But I have yet to get together with William because of COVID. And I do know that he's here. You do know that he was my vocal student.
I love William, man. He's
I heard
that whole family. I mean,
COVID hit. I heard some people were calling him.
William is a very talented young man. So
yes.
Yeah,
he certainly is. And his sister too is a singer in her own right. So yeah, that family has some. They definitely have a lot of musical genes in that family. And I got to thank you, Tony. I mean, over the years of me doing my B3 Bonanza WAER, through you and through Summit and through Chicken Coop. I mean, you kind of helped me get to become hip to a lot of players I wasn't hip to, like Kevin Coelho. Coelho and Jocelyn Michelle and Matthew Kaminsky. The Funky Organics. I mean, it's a fun label if you like the B3, and of course Chicken Coop. I mean, just Chicken Coop. I mean, you got to expect.
Man.
You got to expect.
It used to be called the Chitlin Circuit. I mean,
Well, Chitlin's
You think you get worn out? I get worn out. I like to create these little things. I don't know what it is about my personality, but you guys saw I created this little thing called Friends and Students.
Mm-hmm.
So what that is a private a Facebook group that you can't get in unless we let you in. But inside, it's all I've made it my students and friends. So I invited all my organ friends that have some names, and I put all my students and friends together, and that's another fishing hole, I like to call it, because then you put all of your people together in a congregated place, and then you could start putting your fishing pole in there.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you're a musician, you have to collect your fans into a fishing hole. That's my motto. I come from Columbus, Ohio, and it always works. It's all about fishing.
Did little Jimmy Scott live in Columbus, or is that Cincinnati?
I think that's Cincinnati, but I know the name, Jimmy Scott.
Did you know a guy? Wait a minute. Now I'm talking to you like you're in the next room. Did you know a guy named Frankie Previtt, a singer?
Wow. He lived in Columbus? Wow.
I just wondered if you knew him. It's a long story.
But
I'll have to have this off the record conversation.
Okay.
But Nancy, I'll tell you somebody Tony does know, and I know we're running a little low on time, but I got one last thing to share here. And I got to share this picture because the two songs that Joe and Beth Ann brought up earlier are on this recording. One of my absolute favorites.
Pasta Fagioli.
Tony and Joey together. I just love the Paisanos on the new B3. You know what a Paisano is, Nance?
Wait a minute, Eric.
No, I know.
You're kidding me, right? Do you know what pasta fagioli is?
You know what? If I tried to pronounce that, I would get in a lot of trouble. So, no, truthfully, I have had pasta fagioli.
Oh yeah.
And it's I'm very familiar with pasta fagioli, yes, and but I wasn't really familiar with and I'm familiar with mozzarella too. But no, this record though, with you and your guys and Joey and his guys, this was a treat. I mean, Jimmy McGriff is quoted as saying this record is hot, but man, this was from when? 2003.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Long time ago, but
we recorded that record in 2.5 hours.
Is that so?
They were coming through town, and Joey and I had befriended, you know.
Yeah.
And we started endorsing this new Hammond B3.
Right.
And so he called me and said that he was coming through town in December. And I'd called and I'd come up with this idea, and he said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." He says, "But the only problem is I'm driving through Columbus that night, so we got to do it that night." And so I got hotel room for his band. I drove to Chicago and picked up the second new B3 so we could use the two recordings, 2 organs.
Yeah.
He came in. We got set up by 9:30. We were done at midnight.
Oh my gosh.
Because he said one take. We only had one false start. So all of those tracks were recorded one takes. That's Joey. He won't let you do 2 takes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we played a recording on one of our shows. We had Bobby Militello on the show.
Bobby.
And it was a recording of Nancy and Bobby and Carmen and Tor Jr. on drums and Joey on organ from Fulton. And this was Misty, right, Nance? And it was.
Well, I had to do it because we had to do that camp line. Dun, 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 dun. We had to do it like Joey just fell right in. He just did it because he knew I was going there with that, you know, because it's all the way you count it off. It's the wrong key. I go in B flat.
Oh, okay.
Would you play in the original key?
Yeah. Oh, so
I can't wait till it's 5G. I just want to sing. Oh my God.
I know. There's so much frustration, you know.
You know what song? I hate to say, Nance, we're kind of running short on time. I don't know if it's a song you could do or maybe play part of, but I know that anytime I see Joe and Joe Cortini and Jeff Martin, they've got this great trio here locally called Solo Martini, which is Joe Cortini, Dave Salazzo.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, and Jeff
Dave's
Martin.
a great player, man. He's a great player.
And they always play. Honestly, I think every gig I've seen them do, they always play. And the first time I was like, wait a minute, why do I know that song? And it's I'll Remember Jimmy. And so I don't know if well, it's really your choice, but I would love for you to play us out with something, whether it's that or whether
play
it's
that, and I'll be more than happy to.
I know Joe would get a kick out of hearing you play it, because I know how much Jimmy meant to you, and he meant to all of us who love this instrument. So
well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let's do it. Let me do it kind of medium up.
Be my guest. Joe, you owe me dinner for this.
Can you hear that okay?
Perfect, yeah.
Okay, I might speed it up a little bit. So I always talk about, and Nancy will verify this with me, I always talk about every tune has to have the right cut. So the cut on this tune has to be about right there, I think. Here they all come.
Hey, baby. Yo.
I got it. Hey!
Da, da,
Man.
go, Tony Monaco.
Oh man.
Oh, my,
Go.
oh, my day is made. I can't stop smiling.
Did it sound stereo? Did
Oh,
it
it's, oh, I don't know. I've got,
sounded good?
Wow. Joe Cortini just said best show ever, uplifting. Thank you. In fact, and then he said earlier, he said the Leslie is coming.
Yes, it is.
But man alive, no, they keep your music alive and well, and so many people here in Central New York adore you, and you know, I wish we could say when we're gonna see you next here, you know, in person, but for now, people know that they can go to your YouTube page and check out hours and hours and hours of videos of yours. The website is B3 Monaco.
B3Monaco.com.
.com. That's the letter B, number 3, Monaco.com. And listen, man, you are making the most out of a tough year, and God bless you, and thanks so much for making. You just made our whole weekend.
Oh, God bless you both. And Nancy, I'm looking forward to talking to you. I want you to be a guest. So we'll be talking soon. Okay, please get a hold of me.
That needs to happen.
I got your email.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Tony. You made my night. You made all of our nights.
Love you
we
guys.
all thank you.
Love you, Tony. Thanks again. Be safe, okay? And best to your wife.
Same. Thanks. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night, Tony. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.